Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today I want to talk about this Geardriver ratcheting screwdriver set that I picked up from eBay. I have been looking for something like this for a while. Both Gear Wrench and SATA, S-A-T-A, made a set similar to this that used to be available on Amazon. I ordered one once, like maybe a year ago, and then it just sat there, never got shipped, and eventually got canceled. And I wasn't sure what was going on. I went back and searched for them, and I'm not sure if maybe they got sued because of the design, because this is basically a similar design of the snap-on replaceable shank screwdriver, where it has that kind of quarter-inch bit that just goes in here and it's interchangeable. But again, there used to be a few sets like this available on Amazon, and now I can't find a single one that uses the same kind of mechanism. So if you guys know what happened, please leave it in the comments down below. I tried doing some research, but I couldn't find anything definitive other than the fact that SATA and Gear Wrench are owned by the same parent company, and then all of a sudden both of them no longer offer that particular style. I believe somebody had said that overseas you might be able to find them still, but here in the US, I haven't been able to find it. But basically, the reason I kind of picked this up is honestly, these guys are almost irrelevant. The driver itself and the bits and stuff like that. I just wanted the extra shanks here for my snap-on set. So I have a few of these, snap-on ratcheting screwdrivers. I have a couple of these guys that are the 5-position, and I have a couple of their sets that come with kind of the fixed handle and stubby and a few different, shank options. And then I've bought some individual shanks from snap-on as well, kind of like this flexible quarter-inch one here. But I mean, every shank with snap-on is extremely expensive. It's about $30 for each one. So every time I wanted to add some more, it got very, very costly. Where something like this, I think I paid like $22 or so on eBay for this entire set. So for me, like I said, I was more kind of concerned with these pieces than I was with the driver. Although the driver itself is not that bad. So the first thing I did when I grabbed this guy is I took it out. I mean, it is kind of dusty and a little, I guess that's a little dirt from the factory. But it's dusty, even though this thing was sealed in saran wrap. So I don't know if this gathered dust in the factory before it got in there or how dust got in here. But this is basically, the driver itself. So that's the snap-on bit that just went in there. It ratchets just like it should. The mechanism sounds decent. It definitely doesn't sound as robust as the snap-on or some other guys, like the Vessel ones, things like that. But, for the price, it doesn't seem too bad. Obviously I just opened this thing up, so I can't speak to the longevity of it. But it does have this here at the top where you can store the bits inside, similar to the snap-on. And then it comes with a few bits here, which just looks like it's designed to kind of go on your belt or maybe or part of your tool bag. But it comes with these kind of basic bits here. We got some Torx, some Phillips, some hex, and slotted. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to see if the hex are. They look like they're standard, not metric. So I'm not sure if that matters to you. But again, for me, kind of the bits themselves and even the driver itself are kind of extras, where I really bought it for these guys. So then, now we have this extra long quarter-inch extension. And one way that they kind of differ from Snap-on is instead of offering something like this that has the bit driver kind of built in, and then you could buy a separate shank that has the bit driver. They have the flexible one like this, and then the regular one is all of their shanks are actually going to be quarter inch to quarter inch. So either side should be able to actually fit in here with no problems. Here, let me put it in a snap-on real quick just to make sure that fits properly. There we go. I just snapped into the snap-on, and it works, just like it should. So now I have an extra long shank on here. And what they do instead of having the bit driver on here is they're going to give you this quarter-inch square to quarter-inch hex adapter. So now, once, if I can get this thing on, hold on, sorry, let me get it off camera. It's not wanting to go in. Maybe I put them on the wrong side. Hold on, let me try. Flip this thing around and put this thing on. I'm not sure if it's just me, but it does seem like it's kind of dependent on the size. So you can't just put it in on any size. But now, as you can see here, you can fit a quarter-inch bit in there, a hex bit in there, or you can take this off and just fit a normal socket. So now for, again, that $21, $22 or whatever that I paid for this guy, I have an extra long shank. I have kind of the regular size shank. I have a short one, and I have a flexible one here as well. So a little bit of everything. So if you guys have these Snap-on sets and are looking to kind of expand upon it but don't want to spend a ton of money, I mean, if you were to buy each one of these from Snap-on, you're probably looking at, you know, around 120, 130 bucks just for these shanks here, without even the driver or anything like that. Again, if you guys know what happened to gear wrench and setup, you know, please let me know in the comments, or if you know where I can even pick them up. Still, I wouldn't mind picking up a set. The gear wrench is the one that I'd ordered, and then, like I said, all of a sudden it was just gone. But you know, for about 20 bucks or so, this isn't a bad set. Again, I can't speak to the longevity of this guy. It does come in this kind of decent case, although the case I think is a little bit, you know, bulky for what it is. It does have this piece that comes out, and you can probably just set this in your, you know, toolbox if you wanted to have this in your toolbox. But again, for me, this is probably going to, you know, live in almost like a junk drawer, and then this I'm gonna store along with my Snap-on screwdriver. So tell me, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it to kind of mix and match Snap-on with non-Snap-on stuff, or you think if I have a Snap-on you know, driver here, I should always use the Snap-on attachments with it? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.